Fortnite Discovery is about to get a massive update with new features, favorite a creator, we've got insights into how Discovery actually works, and the hundreds of rows of maps in Discovery are gone and being replaced with something new. This is crazy, and I'm breaking down all of it. At Unreal Fest, there was a few talks on Discovery and the ecosystem, etc. that weren't actually live streamed, and only people attending Unreal Fest could see them. Sadly, I was not one of them, but we do have some insider knowledge, thanks to notably Immature and Tom Jang. I'm providing some info on what Epic went over. First, how Discover works. Now this is really interesting. Discover focuses on 3 key metrics. Attraction, how well your island converts impressions into sustained engagement. Are players interested and excited to jump in and play? Engagement, how long do players engage with your island and how many of them return to play later? And is your island engaging enough to keep players beyond 10 to 15 minutes? And then finally, satisfaction. How satisfied are your players with the experience that you just had on your island? Do players favorite and recommend the island? And then over on the side here, we see a hypothetical example of how we think about a single island's performance in Discover. So yeah, this is sort of, for lack of a better example, kind of like a JoJo stand chart that represents the island's quality and performance to Discover. Now, okay, most of this we already know, so let's move on. Next few slides, we're breaking down more of it in detail about the 3. So to begin, attraction. Types of attraction are new, attracting a truly new player into Fortnite, which is valued the most. Returned, attracting a lapsed 28-day plus previous player in Fortnite. And it's cool we finally got a number about how long the lapse means. And finally, retained, or attracting a currently active Fortnite player, which is valued the least. As we know, the new payout system is heavily weighted towards new players, then returning players, and then lastly retained players. As Epic, as we know, wants to bring in new players into the ecosystem the most. Now Epic says the best practices for attraction and attracting players to your game would be to learn from the creative marketing playbook. I made a video about that if you want to go check it out. And growing your social media, community, and brand. And make sure to be paying attention to your analytics of new and returning users, and also clicks and impressions in the creator portal to find out how appealing your map is in Discovery. And Epic also provided some key new features that might enable interaction, including personalized discover, which is ongoing, favorite a creator, formerly follow a creator. It's literally the same thing, but with a different name, which is still coming out before the end of the year, possibly sometime in November. I'll get into that later. Then, new interest flow. I don't know what that means, but I think it might benefit maps that are bringing in new players. Then directed linking to islands, which again is vague, but it sounds pretty cool. Then think client, which will be releasing in 2025, which will basically be, you'll only need to download whatever you want that's required for the island you want to play. So Fortnite doesn't take up, 120 gigabytes on your computer. And finally, a new feature for A/B testing of thumbnails in Q1 2025, which is so good. Now, if you don't know what this is, it allows you to upload 2 thumbnails at once for your island. Let's say if you're undecided on one thumbnail or another, you can just do both, and then you can weigh them against each other and see what players like more and what they're clicking on more, and then you can pick the one that does better. This is really good for testing different thumbnails. So yeah, I'm excited for that. Anyways, that's it for attraction. Next up, we got engagement. Types of engagement are depth of play, or users staying in your island after trialing it. Idle minutes actually don't count towards playtime. So if you have any AFK maps out there for XP or something like that, that doesn't actually help you in Discovery. Tension, or users returning after playing it initially. We know about this. And then social, or users playing with and bringing their friends to your island. And Epic says the best practices for engagement are as follows. Looking at the analytics of engagement like drop off, retention, and minutes per user. Interaction post-launch, or continually testing new features, versions, or designs. And then playtesting and soliciting community feedback, like polls to test if people like something or not, and iterating on that to make your island better. And like attraction, there's some new features that will enable engagement, like favorite a creator, as we know, text chat that will be great for roleplay or casual games, and all tool features, whatever that means. I'm guessing this is like, every single feature they're gonna add will help out with engagement. Anyways, the final one in this little trio is satisfaction. The types of satisfaction are as follows. Post-match. Players running your island on fun, quality, and difficulty post-match. Now this is actually going to be a new feature soon. We'll get into that later. And also endorsements, like favoriting and recommending your islands, and bringing other players to it. Okay, the best practices for satisfaction are iterating post-launch, continuously testing new features with version designs, playtesting and soliciting community feedback, and funnily enough, delivering on thumbnail fantasy or avoiding clickbait. I'm sure Discovery has lots of that. And key new features to enable satisfaction that are coming soon is satisfaction data, or that's the player satisfaction, fun, and difficulty, which for more information is an optional survey that players can take that let players know how satisfying, fun, or difficult their island is, which are really good stats to be able to use as you can improve your island and what you do. Okay, now that's all cool. There's some new features we can use, etc. And nothing bad there. But next up is the real stuff. How new content testing works. We currently consider a test as receiving 50,000 impressions within a short time window. This test prioritizes reaching high CCU and full lobbies. Discovery algorithms also look at your island's attraction, engagement, and satisfaction, as previously explained during the testing period. And also, islands can be also tested multiple times, especially with more updates. In Epic's words, we leverage a variety of metrics to provide which islands get tested. Creators struggling to get tested should continue to iterate and update their island. We currently quote-unquote test approximately 4,000 new and updated islands every week and are constantly looking for new ways to scale this. And those ways are personalization and recommendations. So effectively, what Epic just said is that they're testing so many islands daily for the systems Discovery has getting harder and harder to test. And let's be honest, the system was built years ago. Maybe there was only a few hundred maps being published. Today, there's thousands. Epic's way of solving this is more personalization and recommendations, which in my opinion will fix this. It's how YouTube manages hundreds of thousands of videos, and it needs to be how Discovery does it too. There was more info that Epic said that wasn't on the slide, and Tom Jank gave us a few more tidbits of info about personalized testing per genre. Well, we're gonna get into that later, don't worry. More so, Discover, as we all know now, Epic has confirmed that it has a short memory, and it only looks at how your map is doing right now, not weeks ago. So no matter how good your map did, it really only matters how it's doing right now, which in my opinion shouldn't really be how it works. There should be like a redemption for older maps that did really well but kind of fell off to the wayside. Look at the numbers for how many maps have 0 players. It's like hundreds of thousands of maps. So much user-generated content just being thrown away. I forget the ratio. I think it's 98% of maps are not have 0 players. I don't remember. I might put a big number there to correct myself. Now, okay, next up, we got something big. Favorites. A creator. Look at this. Oh my goodness, it's beautiful. So effectively, players will be able to favorite creators in client and on the web. Favorited creators, new islands and updates can be found in your library. This is actually amazing. But anyways, new and updated islands will also surface in Discover along with the creators' picks. So my interpretation of that is creator picks can actually help, to my understanding, other people's maps reach higher in Discovery, which I know people will say is a bad thing because you can like easily like promote scam maps and promote everything. But in reality, I think that the only people that will see those maps is the people who will follow the people who show those maps. You get me? So for example, if I follow Mustard Plays, for lack of a better example, he favorites a bunch of creators that are making really good maps. And I go into my Discovery and I see, oh look, Mustard Plays recommends all these really good maps. Those are really good maps. Let me go play them. Unless, for example, if I follow somebody who's not very nice and then they show me a lot of bad maps, I could be like, oh my god, this algorithm is terrible. But it's actually more my fault because I'm actually, following the guy who's giving me these terrible maps. So the easiest way to not deal with it anymore is just to, unfollow the creator. Unless if you want to see those maps, then okay, go ahead, I'll write to you. And finally, we actually got a date. Creator pages will launch in client in 33.0 or chapter 6. Most likely on November 30th, presuming the next OG season is a month long, which is amazing. Please, for the love of God, don't get delayed. And if we look at this image, we can see typical gamers' creator page and their icon, description, links to social media, featured maps, and the rest of their islands. And I'm gonna guess if you scroll down, you can find creators' pics. And also, by the way, you can actually upload your creator profile icon right now. Okay, anyways, Tom Jank ads. They're working hard to find the best way to connect players to your map, and they are listening with the social connection device, or the creator profile device, being not exactly everybody's favorite thing, which it isn't. So effectively, the creator profile device is going to get reworked, and the QR code, I don't know what's going to happen to it. Hopefully, they can just display the creator's page in game instead of scan a QR code that brings you to a website. Like it's so counterintuitive. So hopefully, it's going to be better than what it is right now. Next, after this, we get a cool look of what someone's library will look like with favorite creator. You can see all of your favorite creators, their new releases, and recently updated down there. And also a new option over here called collections, which I'll explain literally in like 20 seconds. Also, I forgot to mention, these creators inside here are ordered by interaction So the creator you've interacted the most with recently is at the front. So it's not ordered by popularity or anything. I don't even think you can see how many people have actually favorited the creator. I'm sure in the back end, Epic's keeping track of the numbers. And also, I just forgot to mention, there's also another one where you can actually, in search, you can now search by creators, and you can find creators inside search too, which again is so good. And next, we got some juicy screenshots of what new Discovery will look like. And my goodness, it looks so much better. Personalized curation for Discovery is Epic's focus. Now, each genre and collection will get their own Discovery surface instead of rows of maps. So hundreds of rows of maps is gone. It's now genres like adventures or open world or story, or brands like Fall Guys, Rocket Racing, etc. And this is to allow people discover less known genres and feature lower played genres. More variety. Now this is crazy. This is so good. You've also might notice Discovery UI is a lot cleaner. Everything's spaced out more because they actually got rid of titles on the bottom of maps, so it's so much nicer looking. Anyways, as I said, with these collections, users will be able to favorite collections and rows in Discover, just like creators. So if you like story collection or horror collection, favorite it, and you'll get more story and more horror maps for you in your For You. It's so good. This goes back to why they renamed follow creator favorite creator. It's all like, favoriting maps, favoriting creators, it's just like universal terminology. Anyways, okay, remember how everything here is subject to change, but from what I'm seeing, this is so much better. Okay, so for a better example, when you actually click on these collections, Fall Guys is one collection, and you can find the top 10 best maps in that collection, in the top rated and new updated. This can also change. This will make it so much better to find players for your maps, as different game modes and genres are now separated, and only players who are actively looking to or enjoy those kind of genres will find your map. And with favorite creator on the top of that, oh my god, it's beautiful. If you didn't really understand what I just said, okay, right now in Discovery, it's a mishmash of thousands of genres all thrown at you at once. So you can have roleplay beside horror, you can have everything. And for example, let's say if I'm a player who only enjoys story maps, but to find story maps, I have to scroll past like hundreds of thousands of maps just to find one good one. And now, actually, for a better example, combat maps. We all know that there's a big audience for combat maps in Fortnite Creative. Combat is the way you get players right now. And combat has been the focus on a lot of maps for the past years or so. And other genres that are not combat focused have been overshadowed by it because of the huge player base. Now in Discovery, your impressions can actually get hurt because people who are generally more into combat maps just scroll past because they don't like it and they don't want to play it. They want to play a combat map. And that really kills your impressions and really kills your click-through rate and really kills your retention, etc, etc, making Discovery hate lower genres more. This will fix that. Let's say if I only like combat maps, I can just click into the combat genre and look at all the combat maps. All the other genres are not weighed against it. It doesn't matter what the combat people play. That's all separated now from everything else. For example, here's another little example from the roleplay genre. This is all separated to combat, so it won't be included with it. It's going to be a separate thing. You're only going to be competing against other roleplay maps rather than every single other map in the entirety of Fortnite Creative. It's so good. This is literally what Discovery needs. It's actually crazy. And Epic is also working on making Discovery less intimidating for new creators, probably with genres and everything, and making it easier for new creators to find players and grow their community. Who actually likes your stuff and stuff like that, because you can have favorite creators now. You can follow them, you can see their new stuff, and you can actually get a player base going, and they can see your new releases, your new updated. It's gonna be so good. And also, more good news, the XP system is also getting reworked too. No specifics are actually given, but hopefully it'll finally stop XP glitch maps. And also, another thank god is square thumbnails didn't do as well as rectangles, so they're getting put on the shelf for the foreseeable future. So it'll only just be rectangles for the next while. And Epic also plans to give us more contextual analytics and give us more info on how maps stacks with other maps. And also, I should probably mention the new update cycles. Fortnite Creative will only be getting big updates when a new season or chapter launches. So smaller updates like point whatever will be more for bug fixing or performance changes, which, you can say it's bad, less content, but I think it's actually so good because that means there's less times your map could break. Anyways, that's it. And my goodness, this might actually fix Discover. Anyways, mark your calendars. Chapter 6 is when Discovery will change forever. And just for anybody who cares, I might actually delay releasing Season 1 of Dreamlands Remastered, just because I don't see the point of releasing it when Discover is getting fixed in like a month, so I'm sure you can understand. But anyways, let me know what you think about this in the comments below. Now, okay, you might have noticed recently on my channel that I've been uploading a lot more. This is going to be my final daily upload. It's been quite a streak, but I think I finally covered the ginormous chunk of news that is Unreal Fest. So my next upload will probably be a map showcase in a few days, and then the verse for beginners part 3, etc. But I need a break. Oh my god. Anyways, if you think I should take a break for my own well-being, remember to like, subscribe, and use my code in the Fortnite shop. And thank you to all the members of our channel. Become a member of the Howtwoboss channel today. And watch all these videos. That's about it. I'll see you all around.